Hey there, how y'all doing? I hadn't done a video for a while, and I was wanting to do one today on my very favorite knife. Out of all my knives that I have, this is my very favorite one. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it's the Benchmade 2550 Mini-Reflex Auto switchblade. I have two or three Benchmade, but this is my very favorite one. I've had this thing for 2 years, but every knife I have, I always keep the box and everything that come in. I even keep the paperwork, the bill of sale, receipt where I buy them. I keep it in an envelope. It's just a thing I do somewhere down the road. You know, if I want to trade something or swap or cut a deal with somebody, I've got all of this. It just makes it just a little bit nicer to deal with. And we'll open her up here. Benchmade, I'll tell you what, that's a fine company. They make great knives. And they have 3 different classes of knives. They have a black class, which comes in a black box, which they're made in the USA. They have a blue class knife, that's made in the USA. And they also make some knives, and it's got the Benchmade logo on, but they come in a red box. It's called the red class. Well, they ship those out overseas, either to China, Taiwan, someplace like that, to just for cheaper labor. But it doesn't cut down on the quality of the knife, it just cuts down on the price of the knife. But this is what it comes in here. They give you a nice little nylon sheath to carry it in. It's got the Benchmade logo on it, and it's great for storing, because of many knives I have, it keeps them getting scratched up if you got it resting up against some more knives, brushing up against it, scratching it. But I've shown my Benchmade before on several videos, but I don't think I've ever given quite an in-depth on it and let everybody see it up close. This is one fine knife. I carry it every day, and there again, I think I've mentioned this before, but this being an automatic or switchblade, in Georgia, the only class of people that can carry them is if you're in law enforcement, active military, and there's a provision in the Constitution of the state there somewhere that people with one arm can carry them. But I carry this every single day. And one of the reasons that in law enforcement we're able to do this is classified as a safety tool. Cutting seat belts loose from people pinned in cars, whatnot. And this thing, I have used it on old used seat belts before, and buddy, it'll go right through there. It don't even slow down. But this knife here is my very favorite. I'll show you how it opens here. Well, that thing comes out. I love this knife. It is a beautiful, beautiful knife, and it feels so good in the hand. You can hold this thing just any way you want to. And all the grooves in here, the lands and grooves, they just fit right into your hand. It is so extremely comfortable. I can't believe it. And this, I carry it every day. I've had this thing for 2 years now, and the handle has held up really well. And I'll give you some specs on this thing. The blade is a matte satin finish 154 cm blade, 3.16 inches long. 154 cm. When I got into knives, I had to learn all the different kind of knife steels, the greatest steels, because I didn't know anything about it. But 154 cm is a grade or two above a US 8, which is what a lot of knife manufacturers are using now. They're also using 8CR13 MOV. Those are very good blade steels, but 154 cm is just, you know, it's a little bit higher notch. It's got a grooved aluminum 6061 T6 aircraft aluminum handle. And it has a plunger firing button, which is right here on the little white button there. This thing comes out so quick and fast, I tell you. When I took this to work, a bunch of deputies saw it, and I wound up having to order a bunch of these for the deputies. It's got an integrated safety on the handle, which is right here. This little safety right here. You notch it up and it won't fire. You notch it back down, and it's ready to bust open. I never use the safety on this thing because my philosophy is, why have an automatic switchblade and have it in your pocket with the safety on? If you have to come out with it, you need to come out quick, and it better be ready. So I always leave it the safety off. It's got an overall length of 7.32 inches, which you classify between a medium to a higher end of the small class. The close length is 4.16 inches, and it's a good size knife. You can get your hand all the way around the handle. It's a little over 4 inches on the handle, which is about all you really need. The blade length on this is 3.16 inches, and in my way of thinking, you're going to have one at least 3 inches or longer. In Georgia, they just passed their law last July that increased the size of a knife that you can carry from 3 inches to 5 inches. And that's the blade only, not counting the handle. But 5-inch blade, that's okay, but this right here will do anything that I need it to do. It'll cut anything. And I hate to use the word tactical. That word's been used and abused so much. But if it's for self-defense, yes sirree, I use it. That'll cut you open in a heartbeat. That's big enough blade for anybody to use. It's got a Rockwell hardness on it, on the blade, of 58 to 60. And it's a dropped point blade. But I'm always, in all my videos, I'm always talking about my Benchmade 2550 Mini-Reflex. And there's some reviews out there on this right now that's done a whole lot better than I've done. But anytime I talk about knives, this is my favorite of all favorite of my knives. I'd sit there, my wife gets on me all the time, will you stop doing that? Well, I can't help it. In law enforcement, we practice with guns, drawing, clearing the weapon, and you sit there and familiarization, that's what I'm doing. I could pick this thing up in the middle of the night, tell which end I got it, where the firing pin is, what it'll do, what it won't do, but like I said before in some of my videos, I just wish you could hold this thing. I love this knife, and I'm going to do something here. I always hate doing this because it never ceases to fail. It messes up on me every time I try to do it, but I'll try to do a little cutting with it here. But this blade, see, it's a thin blade, and it's a flat grind blade. Now, here we go here. Truth or tell time. It's sharp, I know. That's what I like to see it do right there. Well, I knew they were going to do it. This thing, that's me doing it. That's not the knife. That knife is going to town on it. Clean cuts. That's just me the way I'm holding those papers doing that. But I love this knife so much. I tell you, I know people get tired of me talking about it, but it is so handy for me. I just enjoy sitting around looking at it. I have to pull it out all the time. I'll be watching TV, just sitting there. And I love Benchmade because they're made in the USA. Yeah, I have knives that are made in Taiwan, China, Japan, and Siki City, Japan. But this is the only knife out of all the knives I've owned, I have never had to do anything to adjust it, to work around it. Every knife I've got besides this one, I always had to either adjust the pivot screw, I've had to change the pocket clip on it, I've had to sand down rough edges on it somewhere. This is the only knife that I have. I've never had to do anything straight out of the box, and I've been carrying this thing for 2 years. So I was sitting here, I just thought I'd do a close-up video on it. I've showed it in a lot of my videos, but never one up close like this. So that's my knife, and I just thought I'd get it out there for you. So I appreciate y'all watching. Take care and see you later.